yeah, if you think you're going to do it in your own strength, then you know what? Yeah, you can do it.
COVID, it's been helping people move their businesses from offline or brick and mortar to online.
Systems are more important than skills as an entrepreneur today.
It's totally okay to reinvent yourself multiple times, especially when you're an entrepreneur.
Welcome to Profitable Coaching Conversations with Wendy Y. Bailey. If you're a coach, speaker, or industry expert, you're in the right place for sales and marketing wisdom and insight to grow your coaching business. Now, here's your host, Income Acceleration Mentor, Wendy Y. Bailey.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show. I'm so excited to introduce you to our guest for this episode, Millette Jones. She is a powerful coach. She founded an organization, I think, around being unstoppable, if I'm saying that correctly. And she made a recent transition into coaching and teaching people about podcasting. It's all happened because of, pre-pandemic, she was already in the process of making that transition, but post-pandemic, she's truly pivoted and shows other people how to pivot during this time to podcasting. Welcome, Millette.
Thank you so much, Wendy Y. I'm so happy to be here with you.
Awesome. So I introduced you and I talked a little bit about your Unstoppable coaching company. Tell us a little bit about that and then share how you made a transition to doing what you do today.
Okay. Well, several years back, I was in business with a partner and we were getting into coaching. And when we were getting into the coaching, we realized that, everybody is a coach, but there wasn't a whole lot of information about how to be a great coach or how to set your business up. Mm-hmm. So we went through some changes. It actually feels like my entire life has been about pivoting, but there was a pivot there. My business
means
partner,
you do it well.
Well, I hope so. My business partner decided that entrepreneurship just wasn't for her. So she went her way and I went mine. And I wasn't really connected to that coaching business. We had decided on it, together. And then when the business partner was gone, it was like, I'm not that into it. But I had been thinking of podcasting. So I was like, I want to jump into podcasting. I still want to do the coaching. So I got into the podcast, which was Unstoppable Coach. It was all about, talking to coaches. I interviewed you on the podcast, interviewed a lot of people, a lot of coaches from a lot of different niches, and just getting their take on, how to build a successful business. So I did that for a while, and that was really fun, and I learned a lot. And one of the things that I learned was that time after time, these coaches were saying that podcasting was something that was really working for them and it was something they enjoyed. Yeah. I was like, I really enjoy doing this podcast, but everyone keeps bringing up podcasting. Maybe there's more to it than just me interviewing coaches and doing my coaching. Maybe I need to look at podcasting a little bit deeper. So
the thing that's interesting to me about your story is that you heard consistently podcasting is a great thing for you to do. Right. And then you went on to say, what have I learned about podcasting that other people are interested in learning or can benefit from learning? I got to tell you, I tell the story that I was really resistant to podcasting, for the last 2 years resistant. And, in the back of my mind, I heard you need to do a podcast. You know what I mean? Because it's so fun to do. And it really allows you to connect with a lot more people. Right. So your pivot, tell us what that looks like and what you're doing today.
Right. So after I was doing the podcasting and I started to, see the trend, and it's like, what can I do with this? Or how can I make a shift? And over 2019, I was like, I really want to start working with companies rather than entrepreneurs. I mean, I still
B2B versus B2C.
Exactly. I still work with entrepreneurs and small businesses, maybe that only have 1 or 2 employees, but my shift is definitely more towards working with corporations and businesses, because even though like in this space, sometimes it feels like there's so many podcasts, you know, the new numbers are, you know, over 1 million podcasts, and everyone is starting to say, oh, everybody's got a podcast.
Doesn't matter.
Well, there's over 1 billion websites, but you still make a website, don't
right.
you?
Yeah.
So podcasting is up and coming, but it's got a lot of room to grow. And with corporations, they just don't think about it the same way as entrepreneurs. You know, entrepreneurs are ready to make those moves. And like you said, even though it took you, you know, a couple of years to really jump on the bandwagon, I know that once you made up your mind, you shifted pretty quickly into jumping in with both feet and making this happen. Well, companies and corporations just don't move that quickly. So there's an opportunity there to really get in and teach them more about why it's a big deal, why they need to pay attention to it, and why they need to be moving towards getting their own podcast.
Yeah. I think the big thing that I've learned about podcasting, Millette, is that it allows you to reach so many more people. Right. And the fact that I have a video podcast and an audio podcast makes that more exponential, because I can reach so many more people. And they're not always people that I know, which is really, really good. They're people who have an opportunity to get to know me through the podcast and experience what it means for me to be in the marketplace. And I think that's what you learn from podcasting, is that the reach is just so much better than anything else you could do. It's better than, you know, social media advertising. It's better than networking, because we can't network these days unless it's virtual,
right.
Which means it takes a little bit longer, you know what I mean, to network. So I think podcasting, like you said, has room to grow, and there's a lot of opportunity out there for everyone.
Well, just the idea of us talking, you know, the people that know me and that like to see my content, they might not know you, but once they watch this interview, they're going to know something about you. And if they feel that connection, they're going to go back to your website. They're going to want to explore and, you know, potentially opt in and learn more about you and start to build that relationship. So just expanding those audiences and building relationships with people that maybe would have never heard of you. That's one of the great things about podcasting.
Yeah. So you said that B2B is different than B2C. Talking to those corporations.
Right.
How do you actually see the difference between the B2C, people learning about me, what I do, versus the B2B? Because corporations, like you said, move a lot slower. So how are they able to benefit from podcasting?
Well, it's really just another element of like a content strategy for them. And sort of the way that I approach it is, if you can get in and start to create that content, you're going to automatically have things that you can then put on your blog. You can then take it and put it out on social media.
Repurpose like crazy.
Right. Yeah. And then also looking at it from a different perspective, a lot of these companies have executives, VPs, people that want to like start to build that level of authority. So having their employees be the hosts, or having their employees go out and get onto podcasts to share that message about the company, those are ways that those individuals can build up that own thought leadership, and they can become the authority in the marketplace.
Nice.
So you don't just have one person that's the face of your company. You can have a lot of your employees that are being that spokesperson and spreading the message.
Yeah. The other thing that I heard in what you said is it's a great way for them to extend and expand their community outreach through their employees, because companies are made up of people, not things. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what the product or service is. People are still managing it all, and they need to have a face for who's managing it and connect with the face of the brand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just like you said, connection, that's a big thing with podcasts. Just having that. Now, obviously, you know, you've taken it a step further and gone with the video podcast so people can see us and have that connection. But traditionally, you know, the podcast was all about having that voice in your head and having someone that's talking in your ear while you're out doing your exercise or taking the dog for a walk. And that's really how that connection just first gets started. You know, just being with someone for a period of time while they're living their life provides an area for that connection to get started.
Yeah, in a big way, We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, I want to walk you through the Profitable Wisdom segment. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Okay. Hi everyone, Wendy Y here, and I want to extend a personal invitation to you to join the Profitable Coaching Society. It's a growing community of more than 300 coaches, speakers, industry leaders, marketplace influencers, and emerging thought leaders who look, sound, and have businesses just like you. Over in the society, we are talking all things sales and marketing. We're talking personal development. We're talking professional development. And my goal in creating this community is to make sure you have a place where you can come and get sales and marketing support, coaching, tips, strategies, and you also have an opportunity to network with others in the community. So be sure to join me at profitablecoachingsociety.com. That's profitablecoachingsociety.com, and I'll see you over there. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Hello, I'm Rhonda Height, and you are tuned in to the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so that you are notified when the next episode goes live.
Hi, I'm Maria Horstman, and you are tuning in into the Profitable Coaching Conversations Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe so you are notified when the next episode goes live. Stay tuned. See you next time.
Yo, people, what is up? This your boy, John Lawson, johnlawson.com, and you're tuned in to the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Go ahead right now, subscribe so that you're notified every time an episode goes live. I'm out of here for now, guys. Peace.
Okay, welcome back. I'm talking with Millette Jones, who teaches people how to pivot with podcasting. So let's jump into our Profitable Wisdom segment. I ask the same questions of every guest because it gives such insight into your backstory and what has made you the success you are today. So the first question I like to ask is, who has had the greatest influence on you in your life?
You know, I have to say that I'm really an introvert, so I've grown up really doing a lot more listening and watching than jumping into conversations. And I have to say that just watching the people around me, maybe no one person, but watching my parents struggle and have that feeling of life is hard and work is just to make money. It's not fun. Seeing my neighbors, the same thing, people that I grew up with, that idea of we just have to get through life. And then maybe at the end we can enjoy ourselves. That has been a huge influence on me, just seeing people with that mindset. And I don't like that mindset. I was
going to ask you, is that something that you easily adopted? I was thinking that.
No, in fact, I've gone against it as often as possible. And, that's really what's led me to where I am, coaching, working with people and helping people achieve things. That's something that is fun to me. Helping people start a podcast and tell their story and just helping to make that something easy for them instead of a struggle. That's really the sort of thing that I love to do. So,
well, and I love that it has influenced you in a way that you saw that wasn't what you wanted. So you were able to define what you did want. And based on that new definition, it charted a course for you that's different than your parents and your neighbors. I think that's great. So what's the best business advice you've ever received?
I heard this a long time ago, probably 10 years ago or more. I was just starting to listen to podcasts and listening to some internet marketing podcasts. I was on the road traveling with the business that I used to have, and I was starting to get a little bit discouraged because everybody that would come onto this podcast, it was like they were so darn successful. And I was like, this is just, I just need to stay where I'm at. This isn't going to work. How am I ever going to learn this? I don't know anything about it. And the host said, one thing that I want people to keep in mind is you should never compare your beginning to someone else's middle. Mm-hmm. And that has stuck with me for so long because you don't know what someone did leading up to that success. It's so easy on social media just to see the success and to see the happy moments. And you're not privy to the struggle and the years that it took to build into that success. And sometimes we think that we have to do it like that, and we don't.
Yeah, our course is always different than someone else's. Mm-hmm. I love that you said you see the middle, but you don't know how they got to the middle. And right. I think a lot of people confuse that. I want to kind of build on that just a little bit by saying you also don't see the people who are highly successful always touting it on social media. Mm-hmm. The people who are really and truly, genuinely successful are not posting, right. Their cars and their, mm-hmm. Their wardrobe and their houses and their luxury this and their luxury that. I saw that just yesterday, which is why I thought about it today.
Well, yeah,
I think it's true.
It's interesting that you mention it because the first interview that I did for my podcast, the guy was a billionaire and I had no idea he was a billionaire. I would have been more nervous. Yeah. I just got on there and did the interview and we talked and chatted and had a great conversation. Mm-hmm. And when I got done with it, I was like, wow, that was the most amazing interview. Let me dig a little more because, he had approached me to be on the podcast and I didn't know that much about him beyond what I had done, the research. And I was like, he said some things that sounded interesting. Let me go
look. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I would have been a nervous wreck had I known.
That's probably why you didn't need to know in advance,
Exactly.
And the thing that I'd love for people to hear in your story is that billionaires and millionaires are people too. So there's no need for you to be nervous.
No.
It's important for you to see them as people, and for him to reach out to you to want to be on your podcast says volumes about the level of respect he had for you to be there.
Well, and like you said, everybody is just a person and we don't need to get caught up in the labels and think that someone is unapproachable.
Right.
Maybe they're interested, maybe not, but there's no reason that we shouldn't put ourselves out there and see because you just never know what's going to come of it.
Yeah, you really don't. So what's been your biggest single sale that you've ever made in your business? What were the circumstances and how much?
Okay. Well, this happened really recently, and it's kind of exciting to even say it out loud for me because it really was like a big jump from my usual, coaching fees jumping over into corporate. So over the summer, I became aware of this organization that local to me that might have some funds available. So I started, broaching the subject, and long story short, everything came through. It ended up being a little bit over 11,000. Gonna have some deliverables over the next year, but all in all, that was like super exciting because it really represented the jump up to that next level for me.
That's awesome. And did you do something to celebrate?
I plan to. So I want to take a trip, but I'm not going to take a trip right now until I feel a little bit more comfortable.
Not quite a good time.
Right. But I'm hoping that by, next summer that a nice vacation is going to be in the works.
Nice celebration. Mm-hmm. I love it. I love traveling. So whenever someone says that's how they want to celebrate or that's how they celebrate it, I'm like, yes. Yeah. Look, that and food. So if they ate or if they went somewhere, I'm like, Yes.
Well, unfortunately, I've had way too much food delivery over this time indoors. So
we all have.
Food. I want to hit a beach or go somewhere fun.
Yeah, I hear you. So we all get to a place sometimes where we want to give up. Mm-hmm. What has helped you when you wanted to give up to move through that and get to a place of feeling like you didn't want to give up? You wanted to stick it out. You wanted to stay the course.
I think I've always just been wired to be an entrepreneur. Even when I was a kid and 16 years old, had a job in a grocery store, I just remember coming home from my lunch break and grousing and complaining to my mom, who would sit across the table and just nod her head at me.
Yeah, she's a good listener.
Exactly. I was never really happy working for someone else. So I don't think I've ever really felt like I wanted to throw in the towel, maybe make a change or make a pivot, but I have never felt like I'm just going to go get a job.
How long have you been in business?
I got laid off back in end of 2010, beginning of 2011, and never looked
so it's
back.
been about 9 years. You're doing fantastic if you've not thought at one time, at any time, about not giving.
I've thought it, and I've had a few 5-minute tantrums, but I very quickly realized, what's the alternative? Do I go back to having a boss and having someone, look over my shoulder? No way. I'm going to make this work.
Good for you. Good for you. So last question, Millette. What is your greatest personal accomplishment outside of your business?
One thing that I have started doing recently, it's really been a recommitment to service. And in the past, I've gone through, ups and downs of giving and providing service. And I got out of that for a while, building up my business. It just felt like that wasn't something I had a lot of time for. So this year in particular, I've really recommitted to, having that attitude of service and giving. And I've started being much more intentional about giving to local animal welfare groups. And then I'm serving on a board of directors at a nonprofit. And then I also do a lot of pro bono work with other nonprofits, helping them with sales and marketing and podcasts as well.
Nice. I read somewhere recently, and I've seen it more than just reading it recently, that if you ever get to a place where you feel sort of down, get up and do something to help someone else, and all of a sudden you end up understanding how much your life is greater, how much gratitude you have to be thankful for, so many things you have to be grateful for. I think that's wonderful.
It's interesting. I have a couple of groups that I follow, and they'll put a little post out on Instagram, and I might just be, like you said, having a tough morning or something didn't quite go as planned. And I'll scroll through and see a cute pup or kitten, and they'll say, guys, we really need dog food, or we really need some kitten food. And I'm like, boom, boom, click, Amazon. Message is on the way.
There you go.
How hard is it? It's
that's what I was going to say. I love that the way you describe it is so easy. It doesn't require like a lot of your time, a lot of your energy. Some of the other stuff, but when your heart is about service, it doesn't matter. It can be something little like what you described with the dog food, or it can be something major like, pro bono services, right? Exactly. So I get it. Yeah, I get it. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I'd love for you to tell us your parting thought and share a little bit about your gift.
Sounds good.
Okay, awesome. Hi everyone, Wendy Y here, and I want to extend a personal invitation to you to join the Profitable Coaching Society. It's a growing community of more than 300 coaches, speakers, industry leaders, marketplace influencers, and emerging thought leaders who look, sound, and have businesses just like you. Over in the society, we are talking all things sales and marketing. We're talking personal development. We're talking professional development. And my goal in creating this community is to make sure you have a place where you can come and get sales and marketing support, coaching, tips, strategies, and you also have an opportunity to network with others in the community. So be sure to join me at profitablecoachingsociety.com. That's profitablecoachingsociety.com, and I'll see you over there. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Madsen, and you're tuned in to the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe so that you're notified when the next episode goes live.
Hi, I'm Millette Jones, and you're tuned in to the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
Hi, I'm Lisa Crisali, and you're tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Go ahead and like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
So we're back and we're talking with entrepreneur, coach, pivot to podcast expert, Millette Jones. Tell me a little bit about what you'd like for folks to walk away from our conversation. We've talked a lot about different things, but if there's a nugget, what would it be?
The nugget is everybody has a story. It doesn't matter if you don't think you have a story, you do. You have a way to connect with your ideal client, to connect with that business partner or that person that you want to work with, or just someone that you want to network with and you want in your life. Always be thinking about how you can make that connection, and I guarantee you it's going to be through some sort of a personal story or personal anecdote that you can share with others.
Yeah, everybody's got a story. I love it. I love it. So tell us a little bit about the gift that you have for our audience.
All right. So what I've got is basically it's just a little checklist. It's 4 strategies that you can use to leverage podcasts, and that would work for someone who's a small business owner, an entrepreneur, a coach, or even a corporation. It's 4 great ways that you can use podcasts to get started connecting with other people.
Nice. Millette, thanks so much for being here.
Wendy Y., I appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, awesome. So we'll be back next time with another episode of the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show. Remember to join the conversation over at profitablecoachingsociety.com. See you next time, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much for tuning into Profitable Coaching Conversations with Wendy Y. Bailey. Be sure to join us at the after party at www.profitablecoachingsociety.com. We'll see you next time for more sales and marketing wisdom and insight from Wendy Y. and her amazing guests. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you know when new episodes are posted.